Hello, today I'm going to be talking to you about one of my favorite books of all time called The Lightning Thief by Rick Riordan. This novel is about a boy named Percy Jackson who begins the book with a very low self-esteem due to the fact that he has dyslexia and ADHD and is frequently expelled from school, 6 to be exact. However, Percy has an extremely bizarre encounter with one of his teachers, which begins a chain of events that completely transform his life. While on a field trip, his teacher, Miss Dodds, pulls him aside and tells him that she knows what he did. She turns into a ferocious monster with fangs, claws, and wings and attempts to kill him. After accidentally vaporizing her with a sword that his other teacher, Mr. Brunner, gave him, Percy is completely shocked and terrified. He has no idea what has just happened to him. Immediately after his battle, everyone, including Mr. Brunner and his friend Grover, tell him that Miss Dodds never existed. However, Percy knows something is up. After a series of other intense events, Percy is taken to Camp Half-Blood and is told that strange mythological monsters, like Miss Dodds, have been attempting to kill him because the Greek gods of myth are still very much alive and well in America. And they believe that he stole Zeus's master lightning bolt because of his godly parentage. You'll have to read the book to find a little bit more out about that. To clear his name and prevent a war between the gods, Percy and his friends have to go on a journey to find the real lightning thief and return the master bolt to Mount Olympus before the deadline. If they're too late, the gods will go to war and Percy may not live another day. One of the reasons that I really love this book is because it is extremely action-packed. It's full of mystery and it's full of very intense scenes. It's also it's got some comedy in it as well, which makes it really fun to read. Additionally, it explores the theme of self-discovery and identity, and Percy changes throughout the story. In the beginning of the story, he feels worthless, and he ends the book as a hero and realizes that his weaknesses are his greatest strengths. I love reading this book and analyzing how Percy changes over time as he discovers his strengths, the ones that he never knew that he actually had. Now, to get you interested in reading The Lightning Thief, I'm going to read you a short passage from the book that you will hopefully enjoy. This happens in the museum on their field trip and details the confrontation that Percy has with his teacher, Miss Dodds. "You've been giving us problems, honey," Miss Dodds said. I did the safe thing. I said, "Yes, ma'am." She tugged on the cuffs of her leather jacket. "Did you really think you'd get away with it?" The look in her eyes was beyond mad. It was evil. "She's a teacher," I thought nervously. "It's not like she's going to hurt me." I said, "I'll try harder, ma'am." Thunder shook the building. "We're not fools, Percy Jackson," Miss Dodds said. "It was only a matter of time before we found you out. Confess, and you'll suffer much less pain." I didn't know what she was talking about. All I could think of was that the teachers must have found the illegal stash of candy I'd been selling out of my dorm room. Or maybe they'd realized I got my essay on Tom Sawyer from the internet without ever reading the book, and now they were going to take away my grade, or worse, they're going to make me read the book. "Well," she demanded. "Ma'am, your time's up," she hissed. Then the weirdest thing happened. Her eyes began to glow like barbecue coals. Her fingers stretched, turning into talons. Her jacket melted into large, leathery wings. She wasn't human. She was a shriveled hag with bat wings and claws and a mouthful of yellow fangs, and she was about to slice me to ribbons. Then things got even stranger. Mr. Brunner, who had been out in front of the museum a minute before, wheeled in his chair and was holding a pen in his hand. "What ho, Percy!" he shouted, and tossed the pen through the air. Miss Dodds lunged at me. With a yelp, I dodged and felt talons slash the air next to my ear. I snatched the ballpoint pen out of the air, but when it hit my hand, it wasn't a pen anymore. It was the sword. Miss Dodds spun toward me with a murderous look in her eyes. My knees were jelly. My hands were shaking so bad I almost dropped the sword. She snarled, "Die, honey," and she flew straight at me. Well, that was a little taste of The Lightning Thief. I hope that you will consider reading it. It is a phenomenal book, and I really think that it is the next book that should be on your reading list.